Everything you know about the subconscious mind is based on a theory from 1915. A theory created by a man who had zero access to brain imaging technology, zero understanding of neuroscience, and zero knowledge of quantum mechanics. His name was Sigmund Freud, and his model of the unconscious mind, the idea that there's a hidden part of your brain, storing repressed memories and secret desires, has been taught as fact for over 100 years. There's just one problem. It's not true. In the last 30 years, neuroscientists have scanned millions of brains. They've mapped neural networks. They've traced memory formation. They've watched thoughts form in real time. And they've never found a subconscious mind. No hidden chamber. No vault of repressed memories. No secret storage system running your life from the shadows. What they did find is something far stranger. They found that your brain doesn't store most of your memories inside your head. It accesses them like a radio tuning into a signal. And that signal isn't coming from your neurons. It's coming from the quantum field. You don't have a subconscious mind. You have a quantum field. And once you understand the difference, everything about manifestation, trauma, identity, and reality itself completely changes. Let me show you what I mean. The old model, Freud's model, says this. Your subconscious is a storage container located somewhere in your brain. It holds all your past experiences, your childhood wounds, your limiting beliefs, your repressed emotions, and those stored memories control your behavior without you knowing it. So the solution is, dig into the subconscious, uncover the hidden memory, release it, and reprogram it with a new belief. That's the foundation of most therapy, most hypnosis, most self-help. But here's the problem. When neuroscientists try to find where these memories are stored, they can't. Because memory doesn't work like a hard drive. It works like interference patterns in a holographic field. In the 1960s, neuroscientist Carl Pribram at Stanford proposed the holonomic brain theory. He discovered that memories are not stored in specific locations in the brain. They're stored as wave interference patterns, distributed across the entire neural network, and possibly outside the brain entirely, in what physicists call the quantum field. Just like a hologram, where every piece contains the whole image. Every part of your brain can access the entire memory because the memory isn't in your brain. Your brain is tuning into it. You're not a computer with files. You're a receiver. And what you're receiving are quantum possibilities, collapsing into experience. Now, let me prove this to you with one of the most important experiments in the history of science, the Double-Slit Experiment. You've probably heard of it, but most people don't understand what it actually means. Here's where it gets even stranger. Quantum physicists have known since the 1930s that two particles can become entangled, meaning they remain connected instantaneously, no matter how far apart they are. Change the state of one particle, and the other particle changes immediately, faster than the speed of light. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. He didn't like it, but it's real, and it's been proven in labs thousands of times. Now here's the question no one's asking. If subatomic particles can be entangled, what about the particles that make up your body? In 1993, the U.S. Army conducted an experiment at the Institute of Heart Math. They took a DNA sample from a volunteer's mouth. They placed the DNA in a sealed chamber, hundreds of miles away from the donor. Then they showed the donor emotionally charged images, violent scenes, peaceful scenes, erotic scenes, and they measured the DNA's response. Here's what happened. When the donor felt a strong emotional reaction, the DNA reacted at the exact same moment. Not a second later, not after a signal traveled through space. At the exact same instant, the DNA and the donor were quantum entangled. Even though they were separated by hundreds of miles, they were still one system. Now think about what this means. Every cell you've ever shed, every breath you've ever exhaled, every particle that was once part of your body is still entangled with you. Your subconscious isn't hidden inside your skull. It's woven into the quantum field around you. And that field extends far beyond your body. So now you understand why most subconscious reprogramming techniques don't create lasting change. Affirmations, subliminal audio, hypnosis, theta healing, they're all based on the storage model. The idea that there's a file in your brain labeled, "I'm not good enough." And if you override it with, "I am worthy," the program will change. But that's not how it works. Because there is no file. There's only a frequency that you keep tuning into. Think of it like a radio. You're not stuck on a station because the station is inside the radio. You're stuck on it because the dial is set to that frequency. And no matter how many times you tell the radio, "I want to play jazz," if the dial is still tuned to 98.5 FM, you're going to keep getting the same talk show. Affirmations are like yelling at the radio. They don't change the frequency. What changes the frequency is shifting the dial. And the dial is not in your mind. It's in your electromagnetic field. The same field we talked about in the last video. The one generated by your heart, not your brain. That field is what selects which quantum possibility collapses into your experience. Your thoughts don't choose. Your field chooses. And your field is shaped by what you feel, not what you think. So when you try to reprogram your subconscious by repeating words you don't feel, you're trying to change the station by staring at the radio and wishing really hard. It doesn't work because the mechanism of change is not mental, it's quantum. So how do you actually do this? How do you stop collapsing the same quantum probabilities and start selecting new ones? I'm going to give you 3 steps, and I need you to understand these are not mental techniques. These are field techniques. Step 1. Decohere from the old pattern. In quantum mechanics, decoherence is when a system stops being entangled with its environment and collapses into a single state. In human terms, you have to stop observing the old reality. Step 2. Enter the quantum field through heart coherence. You can't access the quantum field through your thinking mind. Your thinking mind operates in Newtonian cause and effect logic. The quantum field operates in superposition and probability. The bridge between the two is heart coherence. Same technique as before. Sit down. Close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart. Breathe in for 5 seconds. Hold for 5 seconds. Breathe out for 5 seconds. Within 90 seconds, your heart rhythm becomes coherent, smooth, ordered, wave-like. And when your heart is coherent, your electromagnetic field becomes coherent. A coherent field can interact with the quantum field. An incoherent field cannot. This is the access point. Do this for 5 minutes, minimum. Step 3. Select the new probability through feeling. Now here's the key. You're not creating a new reality. You're selecting one that already exists as a quantum possibility. Every version of you, healed, wealthy, confident, peaceful, already exists in the quantum field. As a probable state, your job is not to build it. Your job is to tune into it. And the way you tune in is by feeling the emotional signature of that reality, as if it's already happened. Not thinking about it, not visualizing it, feeling it in your chest. What does it feel like in your body to be the version of you who already has what you want? Not the excitement of wanting it, the calm knowing of having it. That feeling is a frequency. And when you hold that frequency in a coherent field, you collapse the quantum wave function into that version of reality. You don't reprogram the subconscious. You select a different probability. And the universe, being a quantum system, responds to the observation. Now let's go deeper. If the quantum field contains all possible versions of reality existing simultaneously, then the question isn't, how do I create the life I want? The question is, which version of reality am I collapsing through observation? Every moment, you are standing at a branching point of infinite probabilities. In one probability, you're healthy. In another, you're sick. In one, you're wealthy. In another, you're struggling. In one, you're confident. In another, you're afraid. All of these versions exist right now. In quantum superposition, your observation is what makes one of them real. And here's the disturbing part. Most people are unconsciously observing the same probability over and over. They wake up and observe, I'm still tired. They check their bank account and observe, I still don't have enough. They look in the mirror and observe, I still look the same. And every single observation collapses the wave function back into that reality. They're not stuck because life won't change. So let me leave you with this. You are not a victim of your subconscious programming. You are not controlled by hidden memories buried in your brain. You are a quantum observer, collapsing probabilities into experience every single second. And the tool you use to collapse those probabilities is not your thoughts. It's your electromagnetic field, generated by your heart, tuned by your emotions, broadcast into the quantum field, and the field responds. So here's your assignment. For the next 24 hours, stop observing the old version of yourself. Stop checking if the problem is still there. Stop telling the story of who you used to be. Let the wave function decohere. And then, observe the version of you that you want to be. Not as a future goal, as a present reality. And watch what collapses. If this changed how you see yourself, drop one word in the comments. Observer. And tell me, what reality have you been collapsing out of habit that you're ready to let decohere? Subscribe if you want to keep going deeper into the physics of consciousness. This is just the beginning. I'll see you in the next one.